I just secret shopped a local coin shop. I went into a coin shop I had never been in before, did not tell them I was a YouTuber, and tried to get the best deals that I could. Was this a really good coin shop? Was it a really bad one? And was I able to score some deals? We're gonna show you all that in today's video, so let's get into it. So the coin shop I visited was Dubuque Coin and Antique in Dubuque, Iowa, obviously. And the first thing that happened when I walked in the door of this very nice little shop in Dubuque was I was greeted by the sweetest, I believe, a border collie, Millie. So their dog is the greeter of the shop. I walked in, immediately walked up, sniffed me, let me pet her. Very sweet dog. It made me feel very welcome. And the owners of the shop were really, really nice, no doubt. I took the chance to ask them about how their shop was doing because I was out of town. We talked about gold and silver and antiques, and he even told me that he believes that his antique side of his business is dying because young people are no longer interested in history. They just look at their phones all day, which I have heard echoed by many people in the numismatic community as well. But ultimately, I wanted to see if they were going to give me some good deals on silver and coins, and that's what we did. So let me show you some of the stuff that I picked up at the shop, and then we will talk about the shop itself a little bit as well. But before we do me a favor, don't forget to like and subscribe and help us continue to grow. And by the way, if you're looking for a great deal on silver, my sponsor Bullion has 1 ounce silver buffalo rounds this week on sale for as low as 79 cents an ounce over spot. But even if you just buy 1 to 99, only 1.29 over. Take advantage today by going to sdbullion.com/deals. I'll put a link in the description below. And I want to show you here. So I actually went in 2 different times. I actually went the first time, bought a few things, and then as I was driving back to the hotel, I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to go back and get that. And so I walked back in, and I'll show you everything that we bought. But this is the first of the 2 transactions. So here's a couple things on the camera I haven't shown you yet. And how good this deal ends up actually being is really going to depend on something that we're going to do here very soon. I'll show you what that is. But the first things that I noticed that I asked about that I wanted to pick up, besides what's in this box, are these. Now, these are huge buffaloes. Now, just to give you an idea of the size, here is a silver eagle. Just to give you an idea of the size of these. Now, I've seen big buffaloes before, but I've never seen them like this. These are just 1 ounce of silver. Yes, take a look at that. These are both just 1 ounce silver. This is a 1 ounce silver eagle. What's inside this capsule is a 1 ounce silver buffalo. We're going to open up the capsule and let you take a look here and see how thin this is to be this big. So there's a little gap down here. We can just get that in there and open it up and take a look at this. Unfortunately, this sticker serial number is coming off. This cardboard makes it look even thicker. Look how thin that is. So let's compare it again to an eagle. So this is just 1 ounce of silver. You can see the reverse is just the impression because it's too thin to have a design on each side, which is why, by the way, they put this on that back side. But that is exactly what it is. So it's literally a huge giant buffalo of 1 ounce of 999 fine silver. You know what? It's cool. It's a novelty. I really liked it. They had 4 of them. I picked up 2, and you know, I really did. And so what they actually had these priced at, by the way, they had these priced at $30 each, which is around $7 an ounce over spot at the time. Spot's a little bit down today, but at the time it was around 23. So spot plus 7 is a little pricey for silver right now, but this isn't something that you're going to buy and stack. You're not going to buy a roll of 100 of these or 20 of these or whatever. You're not going to stack these. If you want one of these, you're going to get one for a collectible piece, and that's why I picked up a couple of them, and I got a good deal on them. I'll show you the receipt in a second. Let's get this eagle out of the way. And the reason I got a deal on them is because I asked them if I could get a deal on buying 2 of these plus this set. So you can see we have a COA in here, which I'm not really concerned about the COA, other than the fact that it is signed by Mike Mazak, and we all know how that goes. But these were priced at probably way cheaper than what Mike Mazak wanted for them. So what we actually have here is NGC certified Bullion collection silver dollars. So I've done a video on Bullion before, and I'll try and find that and link it down below. But basically, it was a big hoard of silver dollars, and these were all certified by NGC to have came from that hoard from the Bullion collection. What we have is an 1885. This is not graded. They have it certified. NGC certified it, but they didn't grade it. They just certified it as a real Bullion collection silver dollar. So of course I looked at the dollar completely, and you know, it looks to be in pretty good shape. I don't think this would get like an unk, but I think it would get a nice AU. You can see a little bit of rub on the breast feather there. And then here we have a 1922 piece dollar also from that same hoard. So it came in this little nice box, and they had it priced at $175, and they had these priced at $30 a piece. So I asked them if they could cut me a deal, and my offer was $200 for 2 of these buffaloes and the Bullion collection. So basically, you know, that's what I said, and he came back with $202. And I didn't know why $202. I thought maybe he was just like, hey, let me win here and get the $2. But it turns out he wanted to get at least $26 a piece for these buffaloes, which is spot plus 3, by the way, and then sell the Bullion set for $150. So you can see right here we have $150 for the Bullion set, and here is the sticker that was on it at $175. And then we have the 1 ounce buffaloes at $52. That's 2 of them, so $26 a piece, for a total of $202. Now, really quick, you probably think I paid a little bit too much for those Bullion coins, and I kind of agree with you, so I'm going to talk about that later in the video. Stick with me if you want to hear why I bought them at that price. Now, we'll go ahead and put these away because, as I said, I actually had to go back. I have another receipt here, and the reason I went back was because I saw this. Now, how good of a deal I actually got from this local coin shop is going to depend on how nice every coin in this roll is. Now, clearly, this is not an original roll of BU 1958D Franklin's, but both of the enders are BU, and I'm assuming that inside of the roll is BU as well, and we're going to find out today by opening this up and seeing if all of them are nice in BU. It looks like one of their dog hairs came along with it. I know what that's like, of course. But, you know, the ones that were on the end were nice and bright and vibrant, and they looked to be really nice. So they had this priced at $350, and they had, you know, these right here at $30 a piece as well. You can see I went back, I picked up the other 2 as well. So I thought $350, to be honest with you, was a little bit high on this roll. So I asked if they would do another deal because I wanted to get this. I wanted to get this thing at $300. And so what I offered was $350 for this plus 2 buffaloes. I'm thinking, all right, let's try and get these buffaloes at $25 a piece again. You know, so I said $350 for the roll plus the 2 buffaloes, which, by the way, $350 is what they were asking for the roll by itself. So they agreed, and this is how he wrote the receipt. He sold me the Franklin roll at $290, so he discounted the Franklin roll the entire amount, and then the buffaloes at $60, so at $30 a piece. So my assumption is that they had a little bit more in these buffaloes, like, you know, what they had in them, what they spent on them, than they did in this roll, and that's why they were able to discount the roll so much for me. But still, in my opinion, quite the good deal, even though, you know, technically it shows that I paid $30 a piece for these buffaloes, which is, you know, in my opinion, too much. I think $290 for this roll of Franklin's, assuming that's what's in here is really nice, was a really good deal. So why don't we go ahead and open these up and see how nice they are. Okay, so I got the camera a little bit closer, and like I said, how good of a deal I got here really depends on how these look. So let's get them open. Again, this is not an original roll. I wasn't under some impression that this is, oh my gosh, this was rolled in 1959. Clearly that's not the case. But they bought them like this, and at least that's what they said. And we're gonna hope that, okay. So the edges look very, very nice. I want to make sure I don't drop these so I don't scratch them up. Let's go ahead and stack these up like that. And there it is. So a 58D. Ooh, nice luster. Yeah, I mean, these look like a nice roll of 58D Benjis. Go ahead and go through them. Just spread them out here. Now I'm going to put these in 2x2s just to make sure I don't damage them. But here is, yeah, there we go right there. There's, looks like right here we have some bag marks. So this was definitely hit by another coin. So yeah, I think I got a pretty good deal on these. BU Benjis like this. Now this is retail pricing, of course. You know, you can get maybe $22 a piece on these individually. So that's really not bad. That's $440 if you were to sell them all at, you know, even if you got 20 a piece, that's $400, and I paid $290 for the roll. And they are definitely nice and BU 58D Benji. So I am not disappointed in what I got here. So I took a second to get all of these in 2x2 so they don't get scratched up. And I want to talk about overall what I feel about what I purchased from this coin shop, and then we'll talk about the coin shop itself. So looking at what we purchased, looking at our receipts, you can see these buffaloes right here. I paid 60 for 2 of them and 52 for the other 2 for a total of $112. Now that makes them $28 a piece, which is 5 over spot at the time, which I think is a little bit high, but I looked at sold comps for these on eBay and they're going for around $30, so it's really not too bad. And actually, I would have been happy, and I mean very happy, paying $300 for this roll right here. So if they would have countered with $360, I would have accepted. So I got this for $290, which means if you take that $10 off, you're actually only paying $25.50 a piece for the 4 buffaloes, which is only $250 over spot. That's a really good deal. So I think on the Franklins and the 4 buffaloes, I did pretty well. Now on the Bullion set, I think when I got on eBay and looked at sold comps on these when I was looking at them in the store, I looked, unfortunately, at the ones that actually had number grades. So the ones that don't have number grades tend to go for quite a bit less. And so for that reason, unfortunately, I do think that I overpaid for these. Now, I'm not blaming the coin shop. They had 175 on them. They did me 150, and I'm totally fine with that. And, you know, I agreed to it. So I paid for it, and it is what it is. But I think these could have went a little bit less after I looked at some of the sold comps on eBay. So I'm looking at these at really worth around 120. But honestly, if we add it in with everything else that I got here, I'm really happy overall with the purchase. I'm really happy with the service at the shop. And I certainly can't complain about the fact that they did give me deals. And I don't know what they had in these. Maybe they had 140 in them and there's no way they could sell them for less than 150. They needed to make a profit. So I have no problem with that at all. So looking around the coin shop, if we take a look at these images in their cases, you can see they have some pandas, they have some kamems, they have some other stuff in the showcases here. They had one of those $50 bills, which I was also looking at. They had, you know, the reverse proof piece and Morgan set. You can see they have that priced at $210. They had $100 on that proof piece dollar down there as well. You can see they have some 1 gram gold bars in the case, some eagles, and everything seemed priced pretty decently. I mean, some of the numbers were a bit high if you were to go online and compare them, but just note, as you guys saw, that this shop was willing to make a deal with me. So it wasn't like I had to pay full sticker price, and that's typical with a lot of coin shops because a lot of coin shops know that people are going to come in, they're going to try and make a deal, they're going to try and haggle, they're going to try and do a group deal, kind of like what I did today, or when I was there, I should say, and they have to price that in when they are pricing their coins. So I rate this coin shop like I would really rate any coin shop, and that is how willing they are to work with their customers and come to a deal that's not only good for the coin shop because they do have to make a profit to stay open, but also where the customer feels like they got a great deal when they walked out the door. And I absolutely felt this way at this coin shop in Dubuque, Iowa. Now I think overall, if I were to give this coin shop a grade on a grade scale, it would be an A-. I would give it an A or even an A+ because the owners were great and I felt like they worked really hard to make sure that I felt like I was getting a good deal and they were also making sure they were getting a profit on their end as well. But the one main critique I'm going to have for this coin shop is that the sales floor, in other words, where the customers were allowed to walk around, was quite messy. There were chewed up dog toys all over the floor and it felt very disorganized. I know that's normal in a lot of shops, but I still think you could do a little bit better by keeping it at least a little bit straightened up and keeping the chewed up, you know, dog toys off of the floor. But I love the dog overall. I absolutely love dogs, and I felt so greeted when I came in. Millie was right there, you know, sniffing me, letting me pet her. Very sweet, and I loved it. So definitely an A- for this shop, and if you guys are in Dubuque, Iowa, definitely go check them out. I think it's a great shop. Now, if you're ready for another great video, you should watch this one, because in this one, I talked about a coin shop owner who got fake silver sent to him from another bullion dealer. Check that out right now if you haven't seen it yet. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching and have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next time.